How do you know it hasn't started already?
Thanks for that cold opening.
Thanks for that cold opening.
Thanks for that cold opening. I don't think Kyle's here, but I don't care. I've already started the recording, so we're going. We're rolling with it.
We're rolling with it. Kyle's lost.
I am your
Kyle's
Lord
been
and Savior.
disowned.
I'm your
I've
Lord
been
and
here the whole
Savior.
time.
Nope, you're gone.
It was
It's
just
over.
a draft.
It just
Kyle's just a
draft.
figment of our.
I see the insanity's already kicking in, guys. You're all hearing Kyle's voice, even though he's not here.
Guys, the accident
I don't
happened
know
3
what you're
years
talking
ago.
about. Kyle's not here.
The accident, you have to let go, guys. It isn't your fault. Oh, God. In other news, I am your host. I am your host, the Kool-Aid Man Pitcher, and I'm joined today by.
Is he the pitcher or the juice?
He is canonically the pitcher.
Both of them.
Both of them? No, he's not the. No, he's the juice is his like life essence, his
Both.
soul. But he
Both
is the
of 'em.
pitcher.
Both of them.
Anyway, welcome to Code's Corner K3 episode 2. No, 3. I know basic numbers.
No,
and how to
2.
count. No, well, it's 2 of
is
this
episode
mission,
2.
but it's total of 3 because we had the one shot before. You see,
Fair enough.
catching what I'm throwing.
Picking
No?
up what you're putting down.
Just barely.
I see. Very good. So yeah, last time the party were at Research Station Unified Hope in the Antarctica. They experienced an earthquake and had to go investigate the mechanical failure of one of their seismic sensor devices, a 4 hours drive away from the station. So they hopped in their all-terrain vehicle, they got there, and they discovered what would be there but a spooky stone tunnel and a temple door and stuff. So they had to go back to the station, and they fetched some explosives, and then they came back the next day, and they blew the door open, and they explored most of the place. But then they got kind of spooked out, and they saw some things, heard some things. There was some sexual harassment that went down a little bit.
That was apologized for.
Yeah, that there was. You
Really
guys,
accidental.
it was.
Don't know
for
how
sure.
it happened.
Honestly, yeah.
Not at all. Totally
Um,
oblivious.
And then you guys saw your expedition leader, Dr. Knight, building a snowman, and immediately declared him to be an insane murderer. Yeah, who was out to get you all. Honestly, I don't think I have to actually do anything to you guys mechanically at this point. You're all so so whacked out. You're just all already crazy.
I think we're just paranoid.
Yeah.
Well, I'm paranoid. I don't know about the others.
Yeah.
He's definitely paranoid.
And then the last time
I'm
we
definitely
ended
paranoid,
off
yeah.
on the beginning of day 3 of the mission, anyway, where
We
you guys
just
were.
explored the camp.
Yes, the group left with some electrical equipment, some lights, some motion sensors and stuff like that to investigate and set up in the temple. Also, they were tasked by Knight to go and use like laser cutters to remove the bodies and the artifacts from the ice wall that led to the temple, so they could be investigated properly back at the base. And then on the way there, they found this little like ruined camp full of dead guys, and they found out that they were all Russian Spetsnaz soldiers who were sent on a mission apparently to destroy the temple and the research station and the nearby research stations for purposes unknown. And they were killed seemingly through some kind of flash freeze frostbite. Their eyes were frozen over, their lungs and mouths were all full of icicles, and they were all frozen like ice pops. Man pops.
Tasty.
Delicious. How many lives does it take to get the center of a man pop? The world might never know. And then I believe the party, you guys just got back in the truck and were like, all right, creepy, let's leave. And you just kind of went on your way. Am I right in saying that? I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah. We then went on our way. Because we were like, all right, there's nothing left to glean here.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, we'll open up with you guys arriving at the site, the temple site. You know, you guys got your equipment. I don't know what you guys want to do.
Yeah. Well, let's start off by getting ready and going down in there. Now, I have a question. Our gear, is it still in place from when we left it?
You mean like the gear in the truck, or like your personal equipment?
No. Like the hanging ropes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. That stuff's all the same.
All right, cool. So like the pikes that we like slam the ropes into. All right, yeah. So I'll use the rope to climb down.
All right, give me an agility check with a +1 for the proper climbing equipment that you have.
All right. 6 and a 10. First crit on the first roll.
Wow,
6 and a 10.
Total of 11 then. Cool. All right, so yeah, you make it down. The rest of you, what are you? Are you gonna take the winch down? Who's gonna stay up top? If anybody, how are you getting down? If you're gonna go down?
Anyone stand up top?
Or are we all going down?
Okay, so we have to cut out the bodies from the wall, yeah?
Yes.
So I think with that we will I guess it can be like two or three down, one top, or two down, two top.
Yeah, fair point. So who should we leave up top?
Who knows how to properly operate
The
um
winch?
I was gonna say those laser cutters.
That would be Mr. Hoffman's job, Xavier's job. Any
So
of you
do we
can
want
hit
to
a
leave
button
Hoffman
and
up
move
there?
the winch.
No, I said to operate the lasers. Not the winch. He would know how to operate cutting lasers, so we can have him go down.
So do we
John,
all just want to go down?
what? I, I said two down, two up.
Okay.
Because
Alright,
I
that
mean,
works
unless
then.
you need, if the things are too heavy to move, then someone else can go down. Um. Uh. What do I want? Because I just realized both you don't have a weapon.
No, I do.
Yeah, you gave
Oh yeah, I gave you a weapon
Dr.
now.
Fur a pistol at the end of last episode.
That's right. That I did.
Yes.
This processed cheese is terrible. But okay. I assume we all have radios then.
Assumably, yeah.
Yeah, also you guys would have brought radios.
Okay.
Very nice.
And the reason I said two down, two up is because it'll probably take at least two people to move it into the ice box we have.
Oh yeah. That is true. That is very true.
Yeah.
And we've got to, yeah, we're doing, oh, that's right, because we're doing that on the way out.
Wait, we're doing that on the way out? Thought we were gonna do that
Yeah.
first.
No, we're doing that on the way
Then,
out. So we're going to explore first.
oh, if that's the case, then like honestly, all of us can go down
Okay.
if you want that.
It's up to you
Or
guys. It's up
no,
to you guys. Or we can keep two people up top, which will in turn keep the ice roller safe or the ice runner safe.
I guess.
It's up to you
Sure, why
guys.
not? We'll
So do
have
you want to stick with two up, two down? Because it worked out pretty well last time.
And we had 3 down last time, just 1 up, but we can do
Yeah,
2.
but then one person came up.
So sure, we'll have 2 too. Why not?
All right, sure. So it's who going down?
If you want, it could be we are already down there.
Yeah, I am.
Unless you want to
That's true.
switch that out.
Okay.
But fuck.
So who
What's
else
you
wants?
and Xavier's character? I forgot his name.
Okay.
Yes, because he has
Alright.
to operate the lasers.
All right. So me and Xavier are gonna be in the cave. All right, sounds good.
You okay? So you two head down. Xavier, how are you descending the wall? Either via the winch or are you gonna climb?
I'll take the win.
Okay, you take the winch down. It is slow, but you get there. With all the equipment and stuff strapped around you to the winch line as well. And you guys make it to the bottom of this icy ravine.
Oh, I
rocks
completely
below.
forgot. We have trail cameras.
Yeah.
So when I get down, I'm going to place a trail camera. So there's like the ravine, right? And there's like the back wall, and then there's a wall looking forward, right?
Well, there's the two opposite walls of the ravine, and then there's like the little entranceway, and like hole in the wall where the tunnel is that leads to the temple.
Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a trail camera right in front of where we saw the 2 people and the knife.
In that tunnel, then.
Yes, in the tunnel.
Okay, easily enough done.
All right. I'm also gonna have it behind where the rope is.
Okay.
All right. And then I'll save the others. So I'm just setting up one for right now.
Alrighty.
Now Xavier, here begs the question: do you want to get the laser set up now,
Um,
and then
sure.
we can come back to it and start it up when we're ready to go?
Sounds like an alright idea.
All right, sounds good. So I'll help him set that up.
Okay, yeah, it's like this weird like metal like pipe framework, with like this big like plasma cutter, basically like a big welding torch, built into like the one arm of it, and it kind of automatically they usually just like plug in little like how like 3D printers have the little screens on them and stuff where you can type in like the values and stuff of the object you're making and the file and everything. It's like one of those
Yeah.
almost. You type out the dimensions of the size of the chunk you want cut out of something, and it'll cut it out automatically for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
2035
How long
technology.
does it take?
For the knife, it'd probably only take like, I would say probably like 15-20 minutes, but then each of the 4 bodies would take like hours to do.
Okay, so we can set up on the. Are we just cutting one big chunk out, or are we cutting them all out individually?
That is up to you guys.
I'll radio up to the other 2. Do we want to cut all 4 out at the same time, or do we want to do one by one? Because I can tell you which is going to be probably more structurally secure.
I'm pretty sure it's 1 by 1. I don't think we fit a giant block into.
I mean,
the
we
thing.
could cut out a giant block, but probably wouldn't keep us alive very long. So 1 by 1 it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then we can probably just set it up on the first one and cut cut the first one out.
Cut the knife out or the one of the bodies?
We'll cut the knife out first.
Okay. Did you guys like sit there and watch it, or do you just set it up and then keep moving?
I'll watch it.
All right. You do so. You set up the laser and you type in the dimensions, and it, pew, and it begins melting through the ice wall. And it does take like a half an hour to do. So we'll probably be like,
While we're
1:30 or
waiting,
whatever.
I'll take a thermos out of my bag, and like pour myself a little cup of coffee, and I'll offer it over to Xavier's character. Like, want some?
Sure, bro.
All right, yeah, I'll give him a cup of coffee. Little thermos cup of coffee.
Okay, yeah, you guys share the cup of coffee. By the time you guys finish drinking that, you have yourselves a probably, I think it'd probably be like a foot and a half by a foot and a half. Well, probably be like a foot by a foot and a half by like 6 inches deep. This big rectangular block of ice with this fancy ancient dagger in the middle of it.
All right, I'll radio up to the others. Hey, is the winch down? Yeah, right. Because
Yeah.
Xavier took the winch.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll call up to the others and be like, "Hey, I'm sending up the first cube. It's the knife." And then I'll
Okay.
secure it to the winch and send it up.
Okay. Easily done. And then up top, a minute or so later, you and Dr. Knight retrieve the dagger in the block of ice, and Knight kind of picks it up and looks at it, and he's like, "I'm sure the geologist is going to be having quite a field day figuring out what this thing is made out of." And he puts it with like the big like ice tongs that they have. He picks it up with the big ice tongs, and he drops it in the huge like freezer box in the back of the all-terrain vehicle.
I'll radio up. Well, first I'll ask Xavier. Do you want to come with me deeper in, or do you want to stay here and focus on getting these guys out?
Hmm. I'd like to oversee the ice blocks getting out, I think.
All right, sounds good. I'll radio to the others and be like, "All right, our engineer is gonna stay here and get the other, the people out of the ice. I'm gonna keep going further into the cave. I'll report back with any findings that I get."
Cool.
All right, into the thick of it.
Okay, so where are you going all the way to the second floor right away, or are you checking out something else between there and then?
I'm
I
gonna
didn't hear.
follow.
Is
Oh,
Xavier
continue.
going with you?
No, he's gonna stay and watch
No, he's
the
gonna
ice
stay.
blocks.
He's gonna stay with the ice blocks and try and dig them out while I'm doing this.
Oh, you want like someone to go with you?
If you want.
Sure, I'll go down with you.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
how
take
are you
the
getting
winch.
into the ravine, Bucko? The winch or climbing?
It would be
Winch.
smart to do the winch, yeah.
Yeah, so I can be down there.
Okay, so yeah, you take the winch down after you put the dagger ice cube in the truck, in the vehicle, and then you make your way down, and you pass Mr. Hoffman, as he's kind of leaning against the ice wall of the tunnel opposite the laser cutter, just kind of
I think
watching.
I'll leave him with the thermos.
Okay.
Because it does get quite chilly in that ravine.
It does, yes. You are literally surrounded on all sides by ice, so.
And I'm
literally
not
like
gonna
a
need it
freezer.
once we go in.
Yeah, it's true.
Because it's quite warm in there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll leave it with him.
Okay, easily enough done.
But I'll get my flashlight ready, you know. All right. I'll look to my compatriot. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, without further ado, and I'll take the first step in.
All right. You take a step into the front room of the of this temple site. It's untouched from where you guys left it before. There's still the rubble on the ground from where you blew the fused door open and stuff like that, but
All right.
nothing is any different.
So there was one path that we didn't go down, correct?
Yes, you guys took the left route, and there is still the right route.
All right. I think I'm gonna check in on the right route this time. Start off that way, see what's over there, and then go back down the left.
Okay, so yeah, you open up, same deal. You walk up to this big stone door, and you just kind of push on it a little bit, and it slides away on its own. And you walk into room 5, right? The first door on the first room on the right side is identical to the one on the left. That being the same huge algae covered glass cylinder with water in it and stuff in the center of this room, with another doorway on the opposite side.
All right, let's go and press that door.
All right.
Again,
you go in.
if only we had a zoologist to analyze this algae.
If only. But yeah, so you walk across, and you push on that door, and it opens up into a short 15-foot long hallway that then curves to your right this time in a kind of parallel of the opposite direction.
All right. Let's watch my step as I continue forward.
All right. Yep. You make your way over, and you come to another door.
All right. Second verse, same as the first.
All right. You open this door. You find yourself in a different room than the one on the other side, although similar-ish in general kind of size. But the walls and floors and ceilings in here appear to be made of like obsidian, like carved obsidian.
Okay.
Which is weird because obsidian is very hard to engrave,
Carve.
and carve in any kind of uniform way. But this room, whereas the other one had those 4 weird fleshy leather pad things on the floors, this room has these 4 kind of obsidian. I guess I don't know what to call them. They're relatively small. They're only probably like 10 feet wide by like 15 feet like long deep, and probably like 5 or 6 feet high. They're also humming a little bit, like audibly. It's kind of low, like white noise in the background of everything.
Interesting. I'm gonna radio up tonight, and I'm gonna ask him if he has a live feed on the first camera that I set up.
You do, and he confirms that he does still have a live feed.
All right. I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna set up a second camera in this room because it's something new.
Easily done.
All right. I'll set up that camera, and then I'll go and investigate the obsidian things that are humming.
Okay, you do so, and you kind of approach one of them. It seems that they do have some kind of like door on them, like the previous rooms had, but they're kind of a little bit smaller doors, and they are made of obsidian, and they are perfectly flat. They do have some of those kind of the kind of obsidian like vertices, sharper edges and stuff. Very slight edges, but the light catches them
Yeah.
a little bit, and you can tell that they're there.
Okay.
Yeah, they're humming obsidian little tiny rooms.
Can I touch one of them? See if anything happens.
Okay, you touch one, Nothing happens.
Definitely odd, but all right. I'll be back to investigate that room later. All right. Well, back to the other side.
Okay, make your way back to the other side. It's the same deal as it was the first time. The weird pronged room with the circular holes in the floor.
Is the circle button still pressed?
I believe you did hold it down with like a rock last time, so yes, it would be.
Yes. Okay. And then my rope is still there?
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm gonna log over to my fellow explorer currently, and I'm gonna say, all right, I'll go down first. I've seen a good portion of what's on the inside. Um, I'll go down, snap a couple pictures, set up a camera at the entrance, and I'll let you know when it's safe to come down.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. I'll get rigged up and climb down.
Okay. You do so. It isn't that long of a high elevation, so it's like a fireman's pole basically, but like a rope instead of a
Yeah.
pole. Yes, yeah, you make your way down easily enough, and you have that kind of same, initial kind of hallway, and that little entry room right there, and then the hallway that continues into that huge.
Would you
open
be able
room.
to put the sheet or the image for the area I'm currently in the sheet?
I think I did already.
I don't see it. Or well, it's not on Werner's page.
Let me see. It is not. All right, I will add it.
All right. And once I get down here, I'm gonna radio up tonight and let him know that I'm setting up my third and final camera.
Okay. He, acknowledges.
All right, nice.
I have to scroll all the way up on my camera roll to find the. Here we go. To find the maps here.
By the way, were you just planning to go down there and not have me come down, or just wait up or whatnot?
Well, no, I planned on having you come down.
After you take the pictures, or
Well, I was gonna set up the camera, look around, take a couple pictures, and then have you come down.
all right?
Because obviously we know from our last encounter that these things whatever this is, can be seen with a camera. So I planned on taking a couple pictures and then reporting back up to you and the others, and then from there, making the next move. All right, so I'm at 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a wall behind where I came down?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to set up a camera looking towards 3.
Okay.
So I'll have that set up there. So it's got like a nice shot of where we came through and the area like behind it.
Yeah.
Towards 3. All right. And I'll snap a couple of pictures while I'm down here.
Okay. The walls and stuff here are actually like stone. They aren't like
Obsidian.
ice or anything or obsidian. Yeah, they're normal
Okay.
kind of rock.
Okay.
But it is a lot rougher cut in here than the very finely engraved, nice angles of the temple above.
Okay. Yeah. Let me take a couple of snapshots of just the area around me, see if I see anything out of place or whatnot in the pictures. Flash on, of course. I'm assuming it's dark.
Yeah, it is pitch black.
All right. right, yeah. Then flash on just a couple of scenery shots.
Easily done.
All right, time to check them pictures.
Okay.
Anything out of the ordinary?
Nope. Not that the photos reveal.
All right, cool. I'll look up the hole and I'll be like, all right, yeah, you're good to come down. Just be careful not to knock the rock out of the way.
Okay, I come down.
Easily done. You do so.
Well. Alright, what else?
The same thing. This rough cut kind of. It doesn't look quite like it's natural, like natural cut stone, but it looks like it was very hastily made or very poorly made, or time has taken a much greater toll. Yeah. You see this kind of initial room, and then the hallway that extends in front of you guys for like 10, 15 feet. And there is a way to go to the left, and then there is that doorway that ahead that opens up into that large cavern.
Well, where do you think we should go first?
It's a good question. I don't have the map.
All right,
I think
well, then in that case, why don't we start out by going in the simplest direction and go forward?
sure.
There's the map.
Yeah, I replied to myself, so you guys can just like shift up to the map.
But yeah, let's go forward.
Okay. I see it now. Sure.
Yes. All right, forward, and then you said there's no door going to 3, right?
Well, there's a doorway, but the door is currently open, and then there is that kind of opens up
Okay.
into that larger grand cavern.
All right, yeah. Let's go into 3, and
Okay.
I'll crack a couple of glow sticks.
Room 3 is the main chamber. It's a large stone cavern. You guys are standing on this kind of raised stone platform, this wide stone platform, and then there are a couple of steps 50 feet ahead of you guys that kind of drop to the main floor level. And then there are, on either side of the walls, there are these big square pillars, also made of carved obsidian, and then there is a central obsidian structure in the very center.
I'll take some pictures of the obsidian pillars and then the main structure.
Easily doable.
What is revealed about these structures?
They are obsidian obelisks that are carved with various hieroglyphs and symbols you don't recognize.
Okay. Alright, well, I'll crack a couple of glow sticks and just lay them about so that we can get some even lighting, at least.
Okay.
I guess I'll start looking around and seeing what I can see. Any doorways or pathways that I can see just from here?
Yes, there is the doorway that leads into rooms 4 and 5, the doorway that leads into room 6, and then you also see at the very end of the room there is this huge hole in the floor, this big chasm that just descends into darkness.
Okay. I guess first things first, I'll start looking around the main, I guess, object in the center of the room, seeing if there's anything else to it.
I think while he does that, I'm gonna go check off that side room.
Which side room?
4.
4, okay. You walk up to the door, and then you push on it, and it slides away, like the others do. And you walk in here. This room is a small library, it looks like. There's a bunch of stone-carved, like, scroll shelves and bookshelves built into the walls. Many of the pieces of parchment here are, like, rotted to dust, basically, or are so delicate that touching them will make them turn to dust. Others have been destroyed by water damage and mildew, the ones that are closer to the floor. A couple of them seem to be in some kind of workable condition, but most of them appear to be either destroyed or too fragile to touch.
I'm assuming there's like no wording anywhere.
None in a language you speak.
Does it look similar to any language I could have possibly seen before, just not know?
It looks like the writing that's all over the temple and the obelisks and the doorways and all that stuff.
Okay. Do I see the door to 5?
Yes.
I will click said door.
All right. This one, you can open this door up, and it's a very small room with some empty shelves and such. Nothing of any import besides some rotted wooden boxes or something like that. Some rotting, like, sacks, some fabric sacks.
Okay. I guess I'll leave. There's not really anything that's my interest in here yet.
Nothing you can see now.
Is there anything that looks like I can take back to the base?
There are maybe a couple of scrolls and stuff that look like you could feasibly move them without destroying them.
I'll mark those down for later, I guess.
Is that right?
I won't take them yet. I'll walk out and go like John's character and be well, on some salvageable scrolls, but that's about it.
All right, I'll give him a good once over. See if I can glean anything from it. Can I partake in looking at these scrolls to see if I can find anything out?
Okay. You don't speak the language, but it does look like the same kind of Olmec or Incan styled hieroglyphs from the rest of the building.
I'll show Kyle's character a example of Latin, like just like a picture that I have of something written in Latin. Did you see anything looking like this?
I don't think I would.
Alright, well. It is what it is. Alright, I'll go in there and I'll take a few pictures of some of the writings and whatnot that are not completely done in and haven't completely disintegrated. But I'll do that after. Alright, I guess what I'll do now is continue to investigate this main structure.
This main obsidian room in the middle of this cavern, probably like 15 feet tall by 25 feet wide. It's a tall rectangle. And there isn't a door visible on the sides you can easily walk on until you kind of look around the back of it. You see that there is this kind of thin, like 4-foot wide platform that bumps up right against this bottomless chasm, and then there is some kind of doorway there, but it looks identical to the 4 smaller ones that were on the level above, but these ones are just this is far bigger, basically.
Okay. Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. I'm going to hug the wall and then just tap the door.
Okay, you tap the door and nothing happens.
Nothing happens?
Nothing happens.
Can I press the door?
You press the door. Nothing happens.
Well, all right. As I said before, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
But you would see, I think, as you kind of hug the wall and kind of get close enough to touch the door, you get to look at some of the stuff kind of carved into it. And while this is surrounded by like hieroglyphs you don't understand, there is like some kind of artistic depiction of something that you don't need to speak a language to understand. It's pictures.
Okay.
And these kinds of murals above the door look to be like some kind of like city, like big city being destroyed by like huge storm clouds, giant icicle-looking like sharp pillars of some kind smashing into buildings and killing people. Then there's another like image of huge armies of armed like tribal looking men with like spears, shields, headdresses being covered in like ice and snow that is being projected by this handsome looking tribal dressed male figure who has this kind of like very, very intricately engraved like aura carved around him.
Okay.
That's it. That's all the stuff you can comprehend.
I will snap a picture of that. I will also radio back in tonight and ask him if anything interesting has happened yet.
And he's like, nope, nothing of any import's happening up here.
All right. Nothing on the cameras?
And he goes and checks for a second, and he's like, nothing that I can see.
All right. Well, our findings are definitely interesting. That's to say the least. All right. I'll go back over to room 4, and I'll take a couple of snapshots of what's in the library.
Okay. At this point, probably, I would probably say at this point, Xavier, the first of the 4 bodies, you have pretty much finished cutting out at this point with the big plasma cutter. So you just had this big, like 6 foot tall, 5 foot wide block of ice with a man in it.
Okay. Well, I guess then I'll, move it around a little bit, so it can be moved along when the others get back, and I'll start setting up the next one.
Okay. You do so. Give me a perception check.
Who?
Xavier.
Ha. Well, no. Guess what I got?
1?
A 1?
Wasn't quite that bad. 3.
Well, that still fails. Okay. So you don't see anything. As you kind of shuffle this frozen man around, and you start setting up the other one, and you kind of hit the button, and it starts cutting the different body out. And you lean against the wall again, and you take out that nice thermos of hot coffee. I would assume probably like an espresso, because this is difficult work you guys are doing out in the middle of nowhere. Need that extra caffeinated energy.
Of course.
And you go to take a drink, and your face is instead pelted by a solid block of frozen coffee.
Oh. How lovely.
I guess I'll look into the thermos for like a solid 5 seconds, and I'll be like, huh. Interesting.
Incriminating.
And I'll guess I'll hop on radio, be like, uh, any old guy. I don't know, some extra coffee? Mine's kind of like frozen.
I'll radio in and be like, "Did you put the lid back on?"
It's been sealed this whole time.
I'm gonna look over to Kyle's character. uh, that thermos is pretty hefty.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a problem with it, and if it didn't freeze on the way out here, I don't know.
We were in a truck on the way out here.
Yes, but it was perfectly fine and hot when we came in here, and I had a cup.
I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. All right, well, I'll radio back to Xavier's character, and I'll be like, "All right, well, we're probably just about done here, so we'll finish up doing what we've got to do down here, and then once we're done, we'll head back up."
Cool.
Sound like a plan?
So, what are you guys doing on the second level then?
I guess we'll go into room 2, and we'll circle our way back around.
Okay, room 2 is a kind of this room is cut from the stone a bit nicer than the other ones are. Clearly, the floor is carved with the same kind of large like tiles that the first floor is, all that stuff. But it is entirely empty.
I'll take a step in.
Yeah, it's an empty room.
Just nothing here.
Yep.
Well, all right then, back to 1.
All right.
I'll look to Kyle's character and like, all right, you ready to go back up?
There's nothing else we didn't explore here?
I mean, not to my knowledge, no.
Well, there's room 6, and then there's the chasm you guys didn't really look at, and then there is the doorway opposite the chasm into room number 9.
All right, one last look. All right, to 6 it is.
All right, you push on the door. This one opens up as well. It opens up into a small, kind of like a semicircular room almost, with some ancient, kind of faded, rotting tapestries hanging from pegs on the walls. They are frozen stiff and are like hard as rocks, and they all depict similar kind of scenes. One of them appears to be like a group of Aztec-looking people conducting some kind of mass sacrifice in like a blizzard or something. They're like basically like forcibly freezing people to death outside. And then on the back wall, against kind of like opposite the room from the door, there is a large block of ice, kind of probably like 6 feet long, 5 feet deep, 3 feet high. And it is kind of pressed against the back wall, kind of like sat in a little like stone holder for it. And on top of this big block of ice is a bunch of frozen blood.
Ah. Well, interesting to say the least. I'll snap some pictures of what's going on in here. Give the
Okay.
pictures a good once over. Make sure everything is right with the camera.
Yeah, seems to be functioning.
All right. Anything from those pictures?
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Just a big old block ice with some blood. Take a picture of them tapestries. And then, odd, but I mean, this entire encounter's odd, so moving forward.
I'm assuming the blood is just frozen and not looking fresh.
That would be
I
the
guess
assumption,
you could make an intelligence check, I guess, if you wanted to discern anything more.
Sure. Can we both make one?
If you want.
Yeah, sure.
8.
That is a 7.
Okay. Yeah, you both gleam that it sure is frozen, but frozen blood, old frozen blood, still turns a dark like brown color because the DNA and stuff dies and the oxygen escapes. This is still bright red.
Oh,
It's just frozen.
Odd.
I think more worrisome than odd.
Yeah, you'd be right. Yes, worrisome, but I have nowhere to place this worry, so I'm placing it under odd for now.
Okay. And this stone structure that it's in, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in like on the ground there. These kind of like raised stone areas,
Almost
like
like
a lip.
pedestal.
Yeah, kind of like, but it's like a sunken in pedestal, so like the ice block doesn't slide around on top of the platform.
Ah, okay.
Is it a pedestal-like or a more sacrificial altar-like?
Well, the ice it looks like a sacrificial altar.
Is there anything in the ice?
Nope.
Alright.
And while you think of that, I'm going to shake my dogs out, so I will be back momentarily.
Alright.
Paused recording, actual editing.
We are now.
Ah, nice. So what we're going to do now is go explore that cavern.
What cavern? Like the chasm?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So you guys walk up to area numero ocho. This huge pit that goes down into darkness.
I take a glow stick because I'm assuming we all have them. Guess no.
Yeah.
Crack it open and do the drop it.
Okay. You drop it, and it falls, and it falls. Make me a perception check,
Both of us?
if you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
That is an 8.
That's a 9.
Neither of you hear it ever land. You could stand there forever, and you would not hear it land. As a matter of fact, after probably like a solid 20-30 seconds of nothing, right, you guys are like, alright, this is a deep hole, point proven nature, thank you very much. And you go to walk away. You both hear like a from the pit.
I'm gonna look over to Kyle's character and be like, did you just sigh?
Nah, that was just the wind.
'Twas
You're
the draft.
probably right. You're probably right. I'll
But I
look
don't
over.
choose to think that it's anything but that. So, yeah.
You're probably right. So do you want to try and figure out a way to get over the weird sighing pit, or do you want to just go check on Xavier's character and have a great time and finish our research?
You okay there? You seeming kinda a little worried.
Not gonna lie, I swear I just heard a sigh, but it just could be the draft. The non-existent draft.
Sure. Is there a way to go to 9?
Unless you feel like jumping, no.
How far of a jump?
At the absolute, like, closest point, like 10 feet.
I'll jump
My
10 feet.
athletics.
I'll take jump 10.
You're sure?
sure.
I don't think most people can jump 5 feet.
Oh,
Do you think
I
if you
was-
got a running start,
I was
you
definitely
probably have... Okay, Kyle, I'm gonna ask you this. What's your agility stat?
definitely worse than everyone else. I think it's either 5 or something.
If it's a 5, then it's better than mine.
Hold on. Let me find my character sheet. I just realized 10 feet and we're normal humans.
Yes, in D&D, jumping 10 feet is nothing. In Quest for the Core, jumping 10 feet is a lot.
I have
Basically,
agility
do
of
it.
4.
I have
So
an
I don't
agility of
think
4.
either of us could make that jump.
Unless we roll an 8.
No.
You know who could
Not
make that
take-
jump? Dr. Harris Knight. No, I'm kidding. He can make that jump. He's not that good.
Speaking of Dr. Knight, I'm gonna check in with Knight and make sure he's alright up
Kind of
there.
need jumping tips.
Got any jumping tips? Because you're radioing tonight. Yeah. What do you say?
Hey, anything on them cams? We still good out there? Or...
He's like, nope.
Well, alright then, buddy. Everything good up top? You're alright? Nothing's happening around you?
I'm splendid. It's kind of cold though. Gotta be honest.
Alright, sounds good. We found a chasm.
Cool.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it is. It is pretty cool. Alright, well, we're pretty much done here, so we have some new findings. But we've explored pretty much every room and come across everything. We have a 10-foot gap that we seem to not be able to cross, so...
Do we have any like ladders in there? Big ladders
ask.
or like?
No, you
I'll
got like
ask.
rope and stuff, but you don't have like a ladder.
No, I don't think a rope would do enough. We'd have to like do some.
We would have to Indiana Jones that.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible in K3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I guess room 9 is unexplored. What a... Never mind, it's 10 feet. I was gonna say about shelvings or I don't know.
Those shelves are not 10 feet long.
No, they're definitely not.
Unless they are, and I'm wrong.
They are not
Unless we take these pillars and knock it down.
Are you sure about that?
No,
Well,
no, I'm not. I think
alright.
rooms 9 is not reachable.
Yeah, agreed. Alright, well, we've got evidence. We've got pictures. We know this all happened. I'm going to maneuver myself by the one pillar and take a picture of the doorway by 9.
So repeat, please. I was not paying attention.
Oh, sick. I'm gonna maneuver myself by the pillar that's closest to 7 and take a picture of the doorway of 9.
I got you. Okay. So you, you walk over, and you kind of like, I guess, like hug the pillar, try to get as close as you can.
Well, I'm not saying as close as I
It's
can.
kind of like, getting a view by like holding the pillar,
Yeah,
or like kinda
I'm
using it
not
to get
risking
around
my
it.
life for this
Yeah,
picture.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying you're like using the pillar to not risk your life, basically.
Yeah.
And you go take out your camera, and it's encased in a solid block of ice.
I'm gonna look at Kyle's character and be like, "You seeing this? Am I the only one seeing this? Am I holding my camera right now?"
I look, and do I actually see his camera in a block of ice?
You do. It is in fact encased in a perfect cube of ice.
No, I don't see what you're seeing. What's the matter?
Huh.
I
You'd
mean,
figure
yeah,
I would have
sure.
noticed this.
I mean,
We have flares, right?
Yeah. I'll say you guys have like a
Think so.
couple flares.
I thought we did bring them. I'm pretty sure we brought that plus explosives, maybe. Unless we didn't.
Can I take one of the flares and try and melt the ice around my camera? Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So you take out a flare and you pop the top off of it and stuff, and it catches on fire, and then you start holding it to the camera. You're gonna be there for a hot minute. You're just
But
gonna...
is it like showing signs of melting?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's showing something melting.
Oh,
It's gonna
sick.
be there for a hot minute.
kind of unnatural since we're in a warm cave right now.
And it also was like in your backpack the whole time, and now it's just encased in a block of ice.
No, I thought it was around my neck.
Either way, it's still creepy.
Weird how I didn't notice it was around my neck. So I mean, kind of weird how I didn't notice. But all right. You know what? I don't have the patience for this. I can just warm it up on the engine. And we might as well just go check on Xavier's character.
Did you try your phone?
Yeah, I'll pull my phone out of my pocket. Yeah, sure.
Also encased in a block of ice.
God fucking damn it. Alright, let's just leave. Alright, you know, let's just get out of here.
Fine,
7's
we'll leave.
unaccessible, 9's unaccessible. I'm not having a good time. My electrical equipment malfunctioned yesterday. Now it's in ice today. Let's just go, man.
Man. I'm gonna leave too.
Okay,
Do
where
we
do
go
you guys
into-
go?
Did we go into 2, by the way?
Yeah,
we
it's
did.
empty.
There was nothing in there.
Sure, we'll leave.
Yeah, alright. Climb back out.
Alright, you guys climb back out. Back up to the first floor.
Alright, well, time to start heading towards Xavier.
Okay, you do so. You get there, and Xavier is probably like, you know, I guess leaning against the wall or whatever. The robot is like halfway done with the second person.
Alright.
There's 4 people, right?
Indeed.
There are.
Yep.
Man, that's a lot of people.
Alright. So it's halfway through the second person, you said?
Yeah. It's
Alright.
about an hour per person, so.
Okay. Alright, so I guess we'll start maneuvering the first person.
Alright.
Okay.
I'll help it on the winch, and then I'll climb up to help put it away.
Okay, agility check +1, please.
Okay. Agility. That's a 7 plus 1, so an 8.
Okay, yeah, you make it up top before the winch does. A heavy block of ice. And then you and Knight put it in the big cooler.
Okay.
Anything going on down with me and Xavier?
I mean, besides the fact that Xavier's coffee froze solid in the thermos, no?
I mean, that's the least weird thing to happen today, so. You know what? Yeah.
Right. Well, any other interesting conversations you guys want to have before we just time skip to where after you guys have finished cutting the people out?
I'll ask Knights. Anything on those cams one last time?
He's like, I mean, it's pretty dark, and you know, the trail cams are only so heavily night visioned, but nothing that I can see out of the ordinary anyway, no. Just empty rooms.
Alright, well, I guess while I'm waiting, I might as well send my camera and phone up to be put into the crawler.
You can do that and have them start defrosting your stuff.
Yeah, please.
Sure.
Alright, well, I mean, yeah, let's just wait for these people then.
Alright, takes you guys another 2 hours, so you guys would go to like 4:30 in the evening by the time you guys finish.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still bright as day outside, despite being in the afternoon. But so yeah, you guys finish up in a couple of hours. Knight makes another snowman of the.
Is it holding the sun?
Well, can I help him this time?
Sure, you can help him.
Oh yeah.
Help make another a replacement snowman.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have like a small rubber ball that I'll have, and I'll be bouncing it against the wall and catching it.
Okay. Stuff goes by. Nothing particularly out of the ordinary happens, and you guys cut all four of the Neanderthal-looking guys out of the main wall, keeping them kind of still in their like the a few inches of ice so not to disturb their bodies too much.
Yeah.
And you winch them all back up, put them in the big like attached freezer trailer thing, and then I assume you all head up.
Yeah.
Cool. Are you all going to take the winch back up, or are you going to climb? Going to winch?
I'll climb.
Agility check +1.
All right. That is a 10, straight 10.
All right. So you get up there pretty quick. This like 150
Nice.
foot cliff.
Nice. I've grown used to it at this point. I'm familiar with this cliff. This cliff and I are romantic together.
You are, indeed.
Well, you gonna take Antarctica out on a date now?
Oh yeah, you know it. On a hot
First-
date.
First, you start getting weirded out by a draft, and now you're dating a cliff. God,
You know what? Yeah, I am.
what?
It's not a phase, Mom.
It's not a phase. I'm just dating a continent.
God,
It's
I'm
a very
gonna go in the
K2 thing.
crawler.
You're like, I'm going inside, you freak. Right, well, Xavier, I assume you're going to take the winch up as usual, right?
You know it.
All right. So then, yeah, you guys get back in the crawler. I assume you guys head on back to the base then?
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty. You guys...
Does my camera and phone thaw out?
Yeah, probably, like, by the time you guys leave, they are,
Sick.
they are mostly thawed out anyway.
Alright. Is my camera okay? Like, is it still on?
It's not on, no. It seemed that it turned off when it got frozen solid.
Can I access the battery?
You can, yeah.
Alright, let me try changing the battery on it.
Okay. You do so.
And, hit that power button.
It seems to turn on after a couple of seconds longer than your usual. It's still kind of partially frozen, but it does turn on.
Alright, I'll have to stick this thing in a rice when we get back.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll check my pictures if I can.
Yeah, they're mostly there. Some of them, some of the newer
What do you
ones
mean,
before
mostly?
you, just like the ones you took like just before it got frozen, are a bit like they're kind of like white and blurry at the edges. But other than that, they're all there.
Okay, well, alright.
So yeah, you all make your way back to the Arctic Station Unified Hope. It would be like 9 o'clock at night by the time you guys get back. So you guys get back, and Knight's like, "All right, gentlemen, well, and lady, let's just move the artifacts back into the geology lab, and then, we'll look at them in the morning. I think it's a bit late now."
Alright. Is anything out of sorts about the base Unified Hope?
No, it all looks the same as you guys left it.
Alright, sick. Let's get these things moved.
All right, and you guys, park the vehicle in the garage bay, and you guys unload the ice stuff, and you put them on like trolleys and like dollies, and you move them into the geology labs. Takes you like 10 minutes, easily done.
Alright, cool.
And then you all, I assume, have your dinners, and then go promptly to bed.
Another correspondence with my contact. I'm going to send them a keyword for them to act immediately.
But act how and on what?
Well, to let them know they need to be here. That my findings are substantial. Something is definitely happening, and back up.
All right, and
Well,
you get like an email back that says, continue your studies. Backup will be there in 4 days.
sick. All right. Delete the correspondence, and to bed I go.
Okay. You all get a pretty good night's sleep because you're all pretty tired from being out in the weather all night. Hoffman had the nightmare about that medical android needing more repairs. It's at this point, it's like a PTSD response from really being crushed by it a couple of days ago. When you guys wake up,
All right.
See, I don't.
yeah,
Actually, I don't wake up.
Mhm. All right.
you are frozen solid in your sleep.
Oh,
I thought that was gonna happen. I was like,
foreshadowing.
maybe.
What's the word I was gonna look for? Same routine. You're
Yeah.
actually. Do we get all 4 bodies? I forget.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys did.
Yeah, we waited.
What would be the last thing we need to do? Do we even need to go back there?
Not really. We've got all we need.
Well, yeah, as you guys kind of wake
Ooh.
up and discussing, like, is there anything else we need to get back there? Knight approaches you all, and he's like, well, good morning, everyone. Great job yesterday fetching those bodies and the dagger. I believe we can begin studying them now, since I believe at least, some of you have applicable skills. In the meantime, I'm going to speak with some of the, biologists and see if they can't take some samples of the bodies through the ice without disturbing them and all that, and see if we can, figure out, how old they are, what they were from. Maybe I can see if I can authorize an autopsy of one of them or something. See if we can gather any more information from their insides, their clothing and equipment, things like of that sort. My current plan is for tomorrow to continue the information gathering, the studying of the bodies and the artifacts, and then I'm also going to be sending a different team, I think, tomorrow to carve some of those hieroglyphs out of the walls of the temple, so that some of the we can 3D scan them and ship them off to the museums and such when the supply ship arrives in a few days.
All right. Yeah, sounds good.
He's like,
So I guess I'm gonna be investigating the knife.
yes, you're all going to be investigating the bodies and the clothing and the fancy dagger that we all found. And like, so everyone, please do follow me. And he turns to the sergeant. And now, Sergeant, I assume you understand that the information in this lab is very highest priority right now in this base, and is also quite important. So while we are doing our work, if you wouldn't mind accompanying us, making sure nobody tampers with it or tries to get a peek when they shouldn't be getting a peek.
I'll be standing outside. Yeah. Standing
If you
guard, I
want, it doesn't.
suppose.
And he turns to
Cue the Among Us imposter music as I stand there among them.
Yes.
Amogus?
Amogus.
Amogus?
Night vented into geology lab.
Oh no. Okay.
See, I was the thing all along. No.
I didn't think about doing that. It's having one of the players be evil, but
That would have been good.
And then Knight turns to Mr. Hoffman, and he's like, and of course I'll need an engineer there to help cut the bodies from the ice and all that stuff that's left with a proper handheld plasma torch this time. No robot could do that kind of delicate work. So I need your steady hands, Mr. Hoffman, if you don't mind.
And I'll be like, I'll oblige. It'll be better than I don't know, fixing robots all day.
And like, oh, I'm sure it is. Anything besides that damnable medical android. And then he leads you all down the hallways of the big research station and into the geology lab. And you all know that when you put the kind of way the room's set up, right? There are like the lab counters along the walls with all the cabinets and the dressers and the drawers and like the microscope like cabinets and stuff like that, and like the controlled temperature like freezers, coolers, like the warm ones for keeping like cultures and stuff alive, and in like peak temperatures, chemical storage rooms off to one side. And then you guys remember that in the middle of the room there are these big like autopsy tables basically, that would have been used by the site's medical staff if somebody had perished for whatever reason. But you guys know that you guys put the bodies on there along with the dagger for just temporary storage while you guys cut them out and stuff and studied them in here. So you walk in, and you find that the bodies are all out of the ice, lying on the autopsy tables. It's there. And the dagger is also sitting on a counter, out of the ice.
I'll turn to the others and be like, this was supposed to be like a special project, right? Who else was clued in on this?
And they kind of like sees it and like, oh, that. And he turns to you all and he's like, they were still in the ice when we put them in here last night, right? Just to be
correct.
Did I walk into the room? Yes, no.
If you wanted to, I guess. I mean, I guess now that you're hearing everybody be like confused,
yes.
then I'd be like, well, that's strange. I didn't tell anyone to remove the ice, and I don't think that much ice would melt that quickly. And he goes over and he starts looking to see if like the ground is wet or anything where the ice would have melted, and then it's totally dry. The tables are wet from when the bodies have been defrosting, and it smells like decomposition in here a little bit now. But there's not enough water in here to make you think that like all the ice melted, basically.
So these are full bodies, I'm assuming, right?
They are, yes. Perfectly preserved.
Huh. Touch it, see if it's got a pulse. Screw it.
Okay, you do so. The body is in fact very deceased. You know, they're all like deathly pale. They all look like they froze to death with the blue lips and all that stuff. Blue skin.
I look around to see if there's a camera in this room.
There is not.
Oh. Are there cameras in the hallways?
Yes, there are.
Alright, I guess if we really want, we can see if anyone like walked into here between the times.
I think what I'm going to do is examine the bodies, or well, at least try to the best of my knowledge.
Okay, how are you going to examine them? Like, what are you trying to find out, basically?
I'm gonna do the old like fingers on the throat and then ear next to the mouth.
Okay, yeah, same thing. They are dead. They're not breathing.
I do have a doctorate, after all.
Yeah, they're not breathing. Human anatomy. They don't have a pulse. They are all deceased.
I will. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift up one by the hand and just drop it.
Yeah, I mean it does flop down.
I guess what I'll do next is go over to that hand and or not the hand, the knife. And see what's up with that knife.
Okay. You can give me an intelligence check, because this is more in your wheelhouse than corpses are.
That is true. Ooh, nice little 8 there.
Okay, with +1 for being an archaeologist, so you got a 9 in total. So yeah, nice. You can figure out pretty quickly that the handle is made of some kind of bone. The blade is some kind of sharpened, carved obsidian. And it's all kind of kept together by a mixture of like twine, like rope, and like metal, like gold, basically. And there are like similar kind of runic carvings to the ones you saw in the temple, along the kind of like carved into the bone handle, and then carved like indented into the metal hilt.
Can I glean an era from this?
I mean, just the general like crudeness of the construction, and the fact that you use obsidian and stuff like that, and given the other stuff you've seen, you would assume that this is probably like 20, 30,000 years old. Just given from the information you know about the other parts of the temple and everything like that. Like very beginning of human civilization style.
All right. I guess I'll pick it up.
Yeah, right. You pick it up. It's a obsidian knife.
All right then. Well, that settles it. And just examine it closer, see if there's any chips on it or anything, any indication that it was recently used or anything to glean some sort of, meaning or sign of what happened to it.
What are you examining? The knife?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
examining it closer to see if it was like used or touched by anybody,
Well, taking into
or
consideration,
if it was chipped at all.
there's definitely chipping. I mean, it is obsidian, so that does tend to happen. It is still, being obsidian, incredibly sharp. Because obsidian does that. And it is, from what you would assume to have been, like, taking into consideration the potential for like water damage and stuff like that over time. You would assume that this thing has probably seen action at some point. That it has in fact been used by like the chipping, the harder like angled chipping and stuff like that along the blade. That it has been used in something at some point.
Alright. Well, not much more I can gather here. I'll put it down.
Okay, you do so.
I don't think I want to go with the others to check the cameras just yet. I think I'm gonna stay back and try and... Well, is the autopsy crew here?
Sure. I'll say that. But yeah, and I can summon them if you guys are done kind of looking at their exterior.
I mean, well, we left them in the ice. Who did we leave them in the care of last night? Or did we just put them in here?
They were just put in here for temporary storage and stuff.
So no one else was in here when we put them here, right?
Most people would have been in bed when you guys were in here, yeah.
Alright. Well, yeah, if you can summon the autopsy crew, I'll stay here and go over the autopsy with them. See if we can get anything done with that. How's this work? We all keep our radio... Well, I'll keep a radio on me. Someone else, if you three are going, then one of you keep a radio on you, and I'll relay information to you as I get it.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. So, most of you going to go check out the cameras then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys head over to the IT lab, basically IT room. With like the base's like server towers are, and like the internet, nexus is located and stuff, where all the internet comes from. Also, probably pretty close to like the power generator for the base as well as in here, or like at least near here, adjacent to here. You all walk in. You do need like a key card to get into this room. So Knight swipes his key card, and you guys get inside. And you guys are free to do what you wish.
Well, I checked the cameras.
Okay, you checked the cameras, and they were all deactivated last night.
Like purposely type deactivated or
Well, you don't know that much. You just know that they were not functioning last night.
how nice. Okay. I would turn nights and be like, want to explain this?
And he's like, explain what?
Why the cameras weren't on during night?
He raises an eyebrow, and he's like, they weren't? I don't know.
Nope. All deactivated, it says.
Like, are they functioning now?
I check.
All of the cameras, except for the one that looks at the door of the biology or the geology lab, is still functioning.
I go, well, oddly enough, everything but that one looking at the door to the lab.
Then Knight's like, well, then that warrants some investigation, I feel, and he begins marching off back towards the geology lab.
I'm sitting in the lab, right?
Yes.
Alright, I'll just be sitting there reading while I wait for the autopsy crew to come.
Okay. Yeah, they show up, and they're like, all right, do you know which body we're supposed to start with, or does it not really matter?
I don't think it matters much, but they're all on separate tables, right?
Yes.
Alright. Well, first things first, we might as well look into the orifices, see if we can see teeth or anything lodged in the throats or mouths. By
Alright.
my guess.
Okay. And then the medical team, who is just straight up like the nurse and stuff, the doctors and physicians on the base, they go through.
I will also put one of those masks on, like the gloves and whatnot.
Everything. When you look in like their mouths and their ears and everything, there is no ice nor water in their mouths, eyes, ears, noses, butts.
So they are completely drained of all liquid?
Well, there isn't an excess of water. Nothing that would, nothing that tells you like they drowned and then they froze while they were drowning or while they were surrounded by water. They just appear to be,
Interesting.
That or the water may have evaporated while they were waiting here overnight. So yeah, they begin to conduct the autopsy on one of the bodies. In the meantime,
yeah.
the rest of you going to accompany Knight to investigate the damaged camera, or?
Yeah, I'll accompany him. And someone can, I guess,
we
stay
both have
here.
radios, right? Does anybody radio me that the camera's out?
Sure, I'll radio you. I'll be like, the camera's out. Go, still stay with the team if you're doing anything with them.
We were just about to conduct the first autopsy.
Okay, well, the camera's out, so Knight's
going
to the camera.
Well, after hearing that, I'm gonna go and lock the door.
Okay, the autopsy team gives you a weird look, but they don't say anything.
Don't worry, just a precaution.
Does not help make them feel any more at ease, but okay.
Continue, Doctor.
Okay, easily enough done. And then, the sergeant and Knight arrive back at the lab, and you check out the camera. You don't see anything immediately wrong with it. We'll take a security camera.
Talking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Since I don't know if Xavier accompanied you guys or not.
I mean, I was gonna have one of us stay if one of us was gonna go.
Oh, do you want me to stay back or come with?
Stay back and see if it goes online and whatnot. But you said I don't see anything wrong with the camera?
Well, it's one of those like bubble cameras on the ceiling, and you don't see anything immediately wrong with it. It's not smashed or like removed or anything.
Is it frozen?
It is not frozen.
Is there a screwdriver nearby or something that I can do
You can
to
get
like?
one, yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll go get one to like uncap it and whatnot.
Okay. Yeah,
See
you
how the
unscrew the like lens and stuff on it, and you see that all the internals have been removed.
oh. I turn tonight and be like, find out why it's not working. And then I move and I show him there's nothing in it.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow and he's like, "Someone stole the internal workings of a security camera."
I guess.
Curious?
What do we do? Is there like anything I can retrieve from this camera? I don't know. I like call it into to Xavier's character. I'm like, is there? Well, first I tell him all the internals are gone, and then I ask him, is there anything like I can retrieve? Is there anything more? Or is that it? It's gone. New camera needed.
I mean, the internals are gone. Yes, you need a new camera.
I was more or less wondering if, like, even though the internals are gone, I'm only thinking internals as in wiring, not as in like it's data chip or I don't know.
Well, the
No,
whole
all
thing
of it is
is
gone.
with security
Oh.
cameras are on the cloud.
Oh, it's gone.
The internals matter very little with actually recording. Once you take the internals out, the camera just stops working. Like, it doesn't record anything else. But up until that point, the camera has seen what it has seen.
Well, it said it was deactivated. Like they were
It-
all deactivated, so it
But
wouldn't
that's
have
the
seen
only
anything.
one that was broken. So
No.
checking the footage before it was broken is still possible. Or,
I
well,
guess
should
so.
be. Should be. I
I
don't know if
guess
we're
so.
playing by different rules, and all of these security cameras just so happen to have a SIM card. I'm also not the engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no.
I'm waiting on this autopsy.
So yeah, Knight or Xavier's characters or things. Anything to do about this?
Can be done about this camera except for just putting a new one in?
Knight's like, yeah, I don't know enough, but I would assume you just need to replace the stuff in it, right?
I guess.
I'll radio over to them and be like, alright, well, while that camera's out, the door's locked. I can unlock it if you guys want to come in for the autopsy.
I don't care to go into the autopsy. I'm just gonna get a replacement camera.
Just leave me on red, okay.
What? I said I was gonna get a camera. All right.
Lame out. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Or actually, no. I'll guard the door still. I have like I don't know, Knight's or Xavier's character get a camera.
That's fair.
Okay. Dice will go and get a camera. And he goes and he brings one of the other engineers to go and install it. In the meantime, the autopsy does finish after like a couple of hours. They find, let's see, what would they find? That the guy is, yeah, like 20,000 something years old. just barely predates human civilization. In terms of like body composition and like how healthy he was, he seemed to be in relatively good health. They did find some like food remnants and stuff in his stomach that seems to be conducive with like South American diets at the time, about the Inca and stuff like that, but like before them even.
Like berries.
Yeah, corn, berries,
rudimentary meats.
Yeah, like some hunted meat. Not a lot, by any chance. The physicality is definitely that of a more, well, I think a quote unquote less evolved humanoid. That being that, stronger muscles, denser bones, thicker brow line, stuff like that. It's pretty imperceptible of a difference, but I'm like level and stuff. But obviously has plays a part. Yeah, and then they of course declare the cause of death to be freezing to death. So.
Well, I'm sure it'll be the same for the other corpses. So. Not really much to glean here. So I guess I'll unlock the door and exit the room.
All right.
And give my findings to the others.
Okay. You do so. And then Knight's like, "Oh yes, don't cut up any more of the bodies. We want to keep some of them around so we can send them back off to Europe and America and stuff, and display them and put them in a museum and."
Very well. So I'll go back in and let the doctors know.
Okay. Yeah, they're like, "All right, cool," and then they go and they package up the autopsied body, and they package up the others in like freezers, basically. And then they.
I was gonna say freeze dry them.
Yeah, pretty much. They just put them in like big old coolers.
A vacuum bag.
Yeah. And then
big vacuum bag.
They all go back off to their medical post. And then like 20 minutes later, Xavier, you get a radio call from the doctor saying you need to go back and repair the medical android.
I facepalm.
She'd be like, "No, I'm watching cams."
You're watching cams. You didn't finish your tasks
no, I'm
yet,
on
buddy.
Cams.
You didn't finish your tasks.
Someone's not doing their tasks.
Oh my god. I guess I'll like, call over one of the boys, be like, "Sorry, bro, but I gotta finish my tasks so that imposters don't win. You know how it is. I'm gonna take over Cam."
Alright, well, I'll look to the others and be like, "Alright, well, if there's nothing else you need me for, I'm going to return to my quarters."
Knight's like, "Whatever."
Alright, cool. Go back to my quarters.
The Knight goes, he makes another snowman. Then he gets some
In the base.
Yes, he brings snow into the recreation hall, and begins to. No, he makes one outside, but he does. And after that, he gets a nice warm cup of tea, some nice green tea that he brought over from Britain.
All right.
I'm gonna start reading. Funnily enough, I'm going to be in my quarters reading up on ancient South American civilizations and see if I can spot anything similar to what I've seen so far.
Okay, give me an intelligence check.
Alright, that's a D10. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a 10, baby.
Alright, yeah, you find that a lot of like the Inca and the Olmec stuff all seems pretty similar. And it's so similar that some of the words in the hieroglyphs you can kind of make out. You can't know for sure, obviously, if it's actually what it says.
But a rough meaning.
Yeah. There's a general it's hieroglyphs, so like pictures, pretty much pictographs. You can kind of tell the similarities from them.
The meaning behind it.
Yeah. You kind of extrapolate from the context clues.
This one means dog.
Yeah, pretty much. It isn't quite enough to get like literacy in it or anything, but.
Yeah, or like literal words, but I can associate words that I know with the pictures.
Yeah, and you can know for sure that the hieroglyphs in the temple are at least related somehow to the Olmec writing system and the Incan writing system.
Okay. All right, sick. I'm gonna take another look back at the pictures of like the door, um, the stuff, like the pictures that we got for the door to room number 7, um, the pictures of um, the tapestries, and then the pictures from the murals from when we first came in. And I'm going to start trying to compare some symbols and see if I can see what all of this means for us.
Okay, give me an intelligence check with +1 for your archaeology.
All right. Now that I can actually glean a meaning from it. The +1 on an 8 gives me a 9.
So the one you can make out the best is probably the one over the door of what's the room 7, whatever, the big obsidian room in the big cavern area on the 2nd floor. That's
Okay.
7. That one you can probably make out the easiest, mostly because like the
Okay.
light catches the obsidian really well, and you can get a clear view of the hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
And the words on there, from the bits and pieces you gather, it seems to be either some kind of curse or some kind of like an epitaph almost, or like a burial poem or something like that. You don't know quite for sure, but something related to somebody's died, or somebody's in there, like a body's in there, or something like that.
All right. Anything else from the tapestries or the mural?
The tapestries seem to be some kind of like written like myth or legend about like whatever group this was, that their like religious beliefs. There are many uses of the pictograph that is pretty similar to the Olmec and Incan one for like human sacrifice. That's probably the most commonly used symbol out of all of the ones that you look at. A lot of people were murdered.
Sounds about right. And then that was the tapestries, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything from the mural
The murals
with the sun and the moon? and everything?
those seem to be some kind of other like. I mean, the words for sun and moon become pretty obvious once you compare them, so you can pick them out pretty
Yeah.
well. But it also seems to be some kind of like an epic poem, you know, detailing some kind of creation
Okay, so
myth.
like
You would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds about right.
Yep.
All right. I mean, that's all I got.
Cool.
A bit of interesting new stuff.
Indeed.
All right. Well, I'll hold on to those findings for now and just chill out and relax.
Alright. You know, that would take you most of the day doing all the reading and then the translating and stuff that you can do. So for the rest of you, have anything in particular you wanted to do?
Probably not. I don't think there's anything else I need to do.
Not much I can think of. Besides, doing my tasks and all that.
Lamau.
I'm not doing my tasks.
You don't have any tasks. You're here on accident. You are the
Correct.
imposter.
Whoa.
I am indeed.
I fucking knew it.
John is sus?
Well, I mean, yeah. For a different reason, though.
Okay, so yeah.
No one knows what my reason is.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, the day goes by. No new information of any particular note comes to light. And then
Sucks, but sounds about right.
Yeah, but I guess probably one thing that does come to note is the geology lab they find that the bone in the dagger's handle, that is a narwhal bone, which is interesting. A bit of extra information, I guess. It's something.
Yeah, it is. It is a piece of information. That
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would be correct.
I am. But other than that, not much new really comes about.
Sick.
And then you all go to bed. And
3 more days.
3 more days. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Then you all wake up. Actually, no. I think first, Kyle, you would be woken up by a banging on your door. Nevermore. Something about a crow. That's a raven, not a crow. Raven. At your door, pecking at your door. Nevermore.
Quoth the raven.
Nondescript avian animal.
Nondescript corvid? Yeah. Who's knocking at your door, Kyle?
Quoth the raven.
Like hard knock, startle. I need to wake up with a gun, or like a
like an
a light
urgent knock.
Okay,
Is
wake
it
up.
like
A pounding.
Is it like a? Is it like a? Or is it like
The
which
second
kind of
one.
knock are we talking about?
The second one, for
Okay.
sure. Definitely a
Okay.
pounding at your door.
Then I will urgently
There is some
get up.
urgency behind this.
I will get up, get my gun, obviously, because I don't.
First instinct.
Yeah, gun. It's my job.
Action 1, grab Glock.
Yeah.
Action 2. Load Glock.
Load Glock. So you I assume you open the door, then you answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, you answer the door. And there is Dr. Knight standing there at your door. Quoth the Raven. And he is holding
Nevermore.
his big old revolver in his hand. In his other hand, he is kind of firmly grasping one of the other, researchers. He's a geology scientist. Called a geologist, Lamau. But he's grasping one of these geologists in his hands. And he's like, Sergeant, I require your immediate assistance in escorting this criminal off to the silo outside. The food silo.
Oh.
For an immediate imprisonment for the foreseeable future.
Sure.
Great.
I mean, I could assume what happened, but what did happen?
And as he's like, well, come quickly, he's been on the way, and he begins moving, and you follow him, and he's like, I caught this rapscallion. Well, actually, I didn't catch him, but I woke up early this morning, got my usual cup of tea. I wanted to check in on the artifacts to prepare them for transportation over to Europe in a few days when the ship arrives. I wanted to find that the dagger had been stolen. Somebody had removed it from its place in the geology lab. And I knew the only people on the base who had access to the geology lab are you, me, and the geologists. So I went through and I kicked the doors down and I looked their rooms over and I didn't find anything. So then I went around and I asked them all and I searched them all and I came to the conclusion that this man is the one who stole it. However, he refuses to tell me where he put it. So I'm going to lock him in the silo until he tells us.
He refused to tell you where he put it.
Yes. And you see that the geologist is like, I don't know what this guy's gone crazy. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't even what dagger. I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I didn't do anything. This guy's crazy. He just kicked my door down. I was trying to sleep, and he tossed me out of my bed, and he's like, "You thief! Get out of bed! You're a thief!" And now we're here. Please let me go. I didn't do anything wrong. I swear. He seems genuinely pretty freaked out, from what you can tell.
Huh. Well, I don't know I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You don't just be a geologist and not know what the dagger was.
I'm like, I didn't, what, I didn't do anything. I don't know, what are you talking about, man? I just was just sleeping.
I don't know what to tell you, bro. He picked out you out of all the other ones. That we'll see. We'll see. Don't worry. We shall see.
And he kind of keeps like resisting and stuff the whole way, and he's like, I didn't do anything wrong, you know, I'm an innocent man.
Yeah. The whole 9 yards. I get it, bro.
Yep. And then
We're all innocent.
as they all say, buddy. And then Knight drags him through the base and outside, and he tosses him into the food storage. Well, it's the hydroponics silo, in the food storage silo. And Knight's like, and I'll be back in a few hours. I hope you take that time to think about what you've done, laddie, and you decide to come clean with me when I come back. All right? All right. Thank you. And then he closes the door and he locks it with his key card. He turns to you and he's like, now, Sergeant, thank you for escorting him with me. He was proving to be quite annoying, I have to admit. And then
So why him out of all of the others?
Like, well, the others all had alibis. You see, the other ones were either married and were sleeping with their loved ones, or, you know, where we're out and about where the cameras could see them, except for him.
I mean, I was in my room the entire time.
Yeah, but you don't have access to the thing.
It's geology.
Correct.
Precisely.
I mean, I have like general access. I can go there during like the normal hours and be like, hey, do this thing with the samples.
I don't think so.
You can like knock on the door, but you don't have like the key card access to just unlock it whenever you want.
Yeah.
Like if it's unlocked, then obviously you can just waltz right in.
Yeah.
It's unlocked. It's a door, but yeah, if they've
Exactly.
locked it like this door was after the previous incident the day before, you wouldn't be able to unlock it.
Yeah.
That's why you aren't the one being locked in the storage silo.
Bingo.
And it's like, this is incredibly distressing. I'll be sure to make an announcement over the loudspeaker in a few hours when everybody's properly woken up and everything to let everybody know what's going on and to make sure that everybody's aware I will not tolerate criminals on my station. Alright?
Yeah, that's understandable.
I have a zero tolerance policy for thieves. Alright?
Ooh, 2 days.
And then Knight promptly walks away if you don't ask him any more questions.
2 days.
Yeah, probably I won't ask him any more questions, but I'll probably start searching the room.
What room? The guy's room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make me a perception check.
Perception check. Fuck. Oh, that's a 10.
Wow. You don't find anything. Well, not the dagger anyway. You find like some weed and stuff in there, but that's fine. Nobody cares about that.
Okay.
Yep, no dagger.
Alright. Alright.
And then a couple hours later, all of you wake up by on your own time. Although the party doesn't have to wake up any particular time because you don't have like a mission to go on or anything today. But you all wake up and you all see Knight kind of informing the new team that's going to go out there and cut the murals out of the walls and stuff like that. And he kind of informing them what to do, telling them what to pack, stuff like that. And then he goes over to the sergeant and he's like, "Now, Sergeant, I know that you're aware that you're supposed to guard everyone that leaves the base. You know, it's part of your job description. It's like it's literally your one job, but I'm ordering you to stay here. I will accompany the team. I have my revolver. I'll be getting a rifle from the armory as well, in case any Russians show up or anything. And then I want you to stay here and guard the artifacts. All right? I mean, nobody gets in, nobody gets out. Capiche?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, Godspeed. And then he walks towards the armory, gets an M6A1 assault rifle, and some mags of ammunition, and then he proceeds to accompany the other team. And he goes on his way. Do you all want to do anything in particular?
And just meander about, have coffee, eat food, read books. That's about it.
Okay. In that case, probably around noonish. Not probably a little later than that. Probably like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Xavier, you get a ping on the radio telling you to guess what? Go and maintain the medical android.
I shed a single solitary tear.
Okay, yeah, you go over to the medical wing again, and you walk in, and doctor's like, "Oh, hey Hoffman, nice to see you again. Great."
I go, likewise. And I get to work, you know?
All right. Make me an intelligence check.
An intelligence check. Oh
Yeah, with
my
a
God.
+1 because of your engineering skill.
Alright, with the +1, it's a 6.
Ah, see that passes. See, well, look at that.
See,
It's
that's
almost
better.
like I'm trained to do this. Almost.
I know, almost. So yeah, sure enough, you look at the android, and the reason that, like, you managed to fix it is because its arms aren't the broken part. So at first you're like, oiling it up and replacing the joints and the ball bearings and stuff. And the doctor's like, "Oh no, Mr. Hoffman, his arms aren't actually the part that broke today. Well, I think there is something wrong with it. It's kind of like, I don't know. His movements have been very ungainly the past few hours, and yeah, I don't know. He's been very
Well,
imprecise, and he's been like, I don't know, yeah, bumping into stuff he didn't bump into before. I think maybe his like lenses or something are maybe messed up or something. I don't know. I don't know engineering. I'm more of a human doctor and not a robot doctor.
I see. Well, I'll check it out.
Okay. And she just kind of goes back to work. And as you're kind of working on the android, you're kind of like, all right, well, if the arms are the problem, then I'll look around the eyes and stuff and figure out something's wrong there. And you go and you unscrew like the eye socket or whatever for like one of the eye like lens areas to get a look at it and see if you can see if it's like gotten like debris or if the wiring has broken or frayed or anything like that. And as soon as you pop the eyeball lens out of the robot, it kicks on automatically. And it kind of like stands up to its full like 7-foot tall height, basically, kind of in its charging dock. And it looks down at you, and it kind of like just kind of stands there, looking down at you. It's very, very scary. Very, very, very sudden occurrence.
I'm like, that's bizarre. I guess I'll have to
First of
check the
all, roll
wiring too.
credits.
Roll credits. Okay, so you want to yank the wires out?
Well, at this point, I think I'm going to try and turn it off so I can work on it. without it doing things.
Okay. So you go to yank the wires, and the robot kind of grabs your arm, and he looks at you and he goes, "I'm sorry, sir. I can't let you do that." And then we'll end the episode.
Oh
Oh,
no!
is that a fucking? What was that?
No!
Didn't Chief say that actually?
No, that's a reference to was the movie with like the space station and the AI goes rogue at the space station. I don't know what it's called, but that's a movie like that.
I could have
Alien?
sworn.
No, not Alien. Something
I
different.
could have sworn though that Chief also pulled one of those.
He did when they tried to take his AI, and he didn't
Yeah.
let them.
We're gonna start next session with an initiative roll, Lamau. It's gonna be good.
Against one person.
Yeah.
I knew it was
Against
coming
one
eventually.
person.
And
Next episode is all gonna be about the combat between the engineer.
and the robot.
robot.
Man versus machine. Who will win?
Find out next time on Quest for the Core.